What's up, man? So we just got finished beating the Lakers.
Nice, dude. I love that shit.
So going into the game, we both had 11 wins. Now
Yeah.
they had 8 losses. We have 6 losses, but nobody really thought the Lakers were in the same league as us. Did you get that sense?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I was listening to the Lakers broadcast for a little while, like I do once in a while, but um man, there was about halfway through the game that I just muted everything and I was just, watching, we're talking, and I just felt like the torch has been passed of sense. Like Oklahoma City is considered the way that we were playing is has to be considered as one of the better teams in the league. The way that LeBron was playing us and AD, like AD came out and had a phenomenal game against us, and he stepped up to the occasion, bro. I mean, he literally stepped up. To me, I'm looking at that and saying, okay, Oklahoma City's for real. We're that much better than Lakers, yes. And I feel like if you're looking at that in context to the rest of the teams in the league, is when we're playing a team in 7 games, it doesn't matter if they're the Lakers or Golden State or the Nuggets. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like we're going to put everybody on alert, and it's going to cause issues because if they can't come and play 7 good games, they're done. They're just done.
And to beat us in 7 games, right? It's not just about coming out and playing with our starting five, which we can talk all day about our starting five. I mean, we got stars at every position, and we got stars in their roles, and they understand how to play together. They understand how to play with other people. We got a next man up mentality. But I want to point out something that I think is really telling. Like, you wouldn't really argue that like AD and LeBron as a 1-2 punch were worse than Shea and Chet, Shea and J Dub. In fact, you'd say that at that point, like we're pretty evenly matched up, and maybe the Lakers have the advantage. You go down the rest of the starting lineup. I know the Lakers are missing some players, so I don't want to like take this starting lineup and be like, this is the true starting lineup. But coming off the bench, you look at Austin Reeves, and I'm
Yeah.
not a big plus minus guy. Dave and I don't spend a lot of time on this, but Austin Reeves was a negative 23 on the bench.
Hmm.
Now, I don't think Austin Reeves was particularly bad. If I look at it, I mean, it wasn't like he had a huge game, but 14 points off the bench. Not like I'd say he's bad, but why was he a negative 23 off the bench, Dave?
I mean, we we picked on him, bro. We
Because
put
our
Shea
bench,
on him. We put J Dub on him, which those two guys are, significantly better at driving to the hole than anybody else on this team. And we just went downhill on them. We put them on the hip and we just went downhill. We did a lot of juking. We did a lot of stuff like that. We really showed everybody how to get around Austin Reeves. And when he was out there, we just scored a lot of points.
we did.
And it was just
But
because we took advantage of that mismatch.
on top of that, our bench just is better than their bench. Like, our biggest advantage against the Lakers is the depth of our bench. And that's where you have to kind of start looking at this team and say, like, back to what you were saying at the beginning, Dave, about 7 game series. Like,
Yeah.
if you have a starting lineup that has as much punch as ours does, and then you look down the bench and you say, Isaiah Joe plus 19, Cason Wallace plus 19, Lindy Waters plus 12, Kenny Williams plus 10. Like, where do teams get a break? Where do they find a way to make up ground? Because it used to be, we know this, we've seen it plenty of times with even previous iterations of the Thunder team, but this exact team, when Shea goes to the bench in the fourth quarter, that's when you're supposed to make a move. But not only is that not happening, but we're making the move at that moment. And when we make that move, it's because our bench has more punch than their bench. And we come in and we hand Shea a game that he just say, go close this, you have a 12-point lead. You
Sure.
have a 15-point lead. If we can do that to Shea, what will our record be if we do that, like, just per game that we do that? If we hand him a 12 to 15-point lead over 10 games, how many games do you think we win?
All of them.
All right. That's how I feel too. And that's why I look at it like the major progression in this season isn't in the top end. Although a lot of people want to focus on Chet and J Dub and their
Sure.
step forward, but it's really on how much that bench is filled out. Because that's going to give us more opportunity. Shea doesn't need to do as much in the starting group. He could do
No.
more. He showed that before. But now it's that bench that's backing everything up. And it's
Sure.
very impressive.
And you gotta take a moment and appreciate first of all, what Shea's doing is truly just spectacular. Last night he put up 33 points, but more so is he didn't need to score a lot of those points. Like, let's just be honest. Like, listen to what I'm saying. Is Shea dominated in such a different way last night that he didn't need to score those points. He could have had 46 last night, easy. But instead, he passed the ball to J-Dub when he was open. He passed the ball to Josh when he was open, cutting. He found Aaron Wiggins cutting. He found Casey Wallace open for a three. Like, he was passing and distributing the ball all night to different guys, not just to one. Like, you know how when we watch, in America here, the NFL, football where the guys are throwing the ball, they have like certain connections with the quarterback and wide receiver, right? Or the quarterback and tight end. And you see that connection over and over and over again. Well, when you have a good quarterback like Dan Marino that was able to spread the ball out in the entire field. It didn't matter who the mismatch was on defense or whatever. He still spread the ball around. That's what Shea did. He spread the ball around. He recognized that Isaiah Joe wasn't having a hot night last night in a three-pointer, so he got the ball to other guys like Case and Wallace and cutting Aaron Wiggins. And these guys and the way that they played is spectacular. But you got to that fourth quarter, and we saw again why Coach D is one of the greatest coaches in the league right now. Is because he was able to take that fourth quarter in that minutes that Shea was sitting, and he's able to open that gap more. And the reason he was able to do that is because of the way that he had J-Dub cutting to the hole. He had Chet out there setting screens. He had a shooting Isaiah Joe. He had Cason Wallace. And then when he pulled out Chet for a little while, he went straight small guys. Kenny Hustle, Cason Wallace, Lou Dort. It was J-Dub out there. He had 5 guards. And he just went sprint. And that's when everything just stopped. It was just like, what the hell just happened? Because you can say at any other moment the game was over, but that was the moment that nothing was happening for the Lakers. And Oklahoma City was just taking our guards and saying, our guards on the floor, 1 through 5, are better than your guards on the floor, 1 through 3, because they had a power forward and center out there. And we just kept on going. And we had to get Devin Ham to put out another guard out there to try to combat that. And it just, dude, it was magical. And I kept on saying the entire night, oh, there's another play by Aaron Wiggins. Like, it's astonishing to me that I'm looking at the stats and Aaron Wiggins only had 13 minutes last night. Yet I felt like he was on the court at all times.
It was crazy. He just makes the right play so much of the time. And that kind of goes back to what like you're saying about Coach Dagnall. I think he's personally responsible for so much of the improvement we've seen. And there's reasons why I give him credit, mostly because the previous team's lack of development down the bench, and the stars develop. But what happened, when you need to get down to your 11th or 12th guy, and that's what I saw with Lindy Waters and Aaron Wiggins. Like, some people would argue that those guys are not in. Well, maybe Wiggins is in our top 10. Waters probably isn't. But when it comes down to it, Coach has made sure that each player understands how to be more than just a shooter. Like Isaiah Joe, drawing charges. We see Jay Will out there. Like, obviously, he was known for being the best charge taker in the league. But then he comes out now, he's one of the better passing big men in the league.
He's dominating.
He had a great shot last year. And now he understands how to utilize ball fakes and shifting defense and the threat of that shot to the team's advantage. But you go to Shea. Like, Shea has so much improvement this year, Dave. But he's obviously improved in scoring because of his efficiency. I think is improved in a lot of ways. Maybe that'll take some time to prove out. I'm not sure where it is this year versus previous years, but I see a more efficient scorer with my eyes. But his passing has improved more than anything.
So good, dude.
His defense, like leading the league in steals last time I checked, that's different. Like, go down the roster and tell me which player on the roster didn't improve their weakness in the offseason, didn't improve their second or third or fourth option when their first and second and third option are taken away, right? Each player got better. You see it in J-Dub. You see it in Giddey. You see it in, we mentioned Shea, but we should always mention Shea as many times as we can. We didn't know what Chet could do last year, but even with Chet, you can see this maturity of understanding of not just how to be in the play, but how to avoid, I don't know, just letting his weaknesses stop the team's success. And that happens so often with rookies. Like it's like, well, we played a great possession and then we made one little mistake, right? That's not check. So I
Yeah,
really give credit. Maybe it goes so much wider than Coach D. The whole coaching staff deserves an enormous amount of
I
credit for the
know.
work
I
that
know.
they've done with these players because it is premium.
I gotta say, man, last night we have one of our great friends, Unk, man. We love us some Unk. Um Unk and I have a great relationship. We talk all the time, but man, one of the things I want to say that Unk let us know about was he stood up for Coach D. Like
Appreciate that, man.
it makes me proud, man, as a fan that we're out here praising coaches, praising the players, praising the coaching staff and the GMs because there's not everybody out there that is. There's a lot of podcasts out there that are just spitting out what they think is the truth and what they would do and all this other stuff. And the reality is that there's been no professional coaching career there at all. And it's hard for us when we see, people that don't deserve to get shit on, getting shit on. And we watch Coach D and make the right call a lot of times. And yeah, you know what? He might, Mark and I, we disagree with on challenges sometimes, and he might make the wrong, calls on challenges sometimes. But to me, it's a learning aspect, like what he can do to get better as a coach, to challenge the players and to be better as a coach. And anytime you have a coach like that has this desire to be better than he is, it's nice because I look at this and if Coach D, and we're right about Coach D, like I think we are right and he's able to stand up there and go, not one, not two, not three, like I know for a fact that everybody's going to look back and say, man, Oklahoma City not only saw the future with all these basketball players that they drafted, but they also saw the future with the coach. And that was what was missing last time around when we had a great team is we didn't have a coaching staff that was ready for that great team. And looking at Coach D and seeing that we have a top 10 offense and seeing that we have a top 10 defense, and there's only two other teams in the league that have that, I got to say, I'm not only impressed, but I'm sitting here saying that we're lucky. We're lucky we got Coach D.
Yeah, we got a coach that can live up to the level of talent that the players have. And um like I think it's just a matter of time before everybody realizes that he's not just one of the best coaches in the league, but the best coach in the league because he can simultaneously combine X's and O's, how to treat stars and make sure you get buy-in from them, development of the rookies and the young players all the way down the roster. And it
Mm,
goes back to his time at the G League. And so I just we always do this. Every time we get to this point, we just feel so like overwhelmed with like positivity. We have to just tip our hat to Sam Presti because
I
it
know.
goes all the way through the organization. He has been building this for years before we realized that was what was going on. And when
Man,
he made this
dude,
move, people gave him death threats. They
I
really
know.
didn't understand.
Dude, it goes back to when I heard about how he found Coach Dave Bliss.
Right? Yeah.
If you
Beautiful
guys
story.
haven't heard that story before, it's truly spectacular. Like he found Coach Dave Bliss, and I believe he was at Georgia University or
He was
whatever.
he was checking out a player.
Yeah, he's checking out a player. Anyways, saw the Coach Dave Bliss, talking to a young man and was just like, who is that coach? And they're like, oh yeah, that's Coach Dave Bliss. He played here, and then I was, assistant, coach here. And immediately he recruited him to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Immediately.
Now, what do you think about the way that someone talks to somebody is so important?
You see how Coach Dave Bliss talks to people?
I think what Coach saw
Dude,
was
every single time I see him, I'm like, that's how you do it.
what I think is Coach saw the way that the players were reacting to the way that he was talking.
Yeah,
You know what I
because
mean?
he was doing it the right way.
Because he was engaging with them, and his message was getting forward. And that I know that you
Dude,
don't like it when I do
guys,
this, Paige, but
watch Coach Dave Bliss next game. All right, you'll see when a player, a big man, or a forward isn't doing what he needs to do. Coach D will send him over to Coach Bliss, and Coach Bliss will get 2.5 inches away from him. Why 2.5 inches? Well, first of all, you get the complete and utter respect and demand that you need to for that player. You're not going to miss anything at that point. Second of all, if there's anything embarrassing that's being said, it's between you and that player. Nobody else is hearing it. Nobody else is like, oh my God, like, Usman Jang isn't doing that. Shame on you, Usman. You should do this more often. Because that's embarrassing, right? You're embarrassing a player. You're putting a player out there, but he gets so close. He talks to them so precise and tells them what to do, right? And because of that line of respect that he has with those players, I'm telling you, man, watch him in practice. He's 2.5 inches away. Somebody doesn't do something, he stop. Gets right there. This is what you need to do. You know, it's a certain aspect of how you coach that demands players to listen. If you're sitting there screaming and yelling and doing what Coach Donovan did, I mean, sure, that might motivate 1 or 2 players, but as a team, it's never going to motivate them. So if you have an entire coaching staff that's all about that,
Yeah.
and that's what they all are. They're all about making sure that these players know exactly that. In a way, they have so many similar personalities on that coaching staff. It's shocking, and you can tell that Sam Presti built this coaching staff knowing that this is what he was going to get out of it.
I go back to J-Dub trying out or like coming to work out with the Thunder and him not knowing who Coach D was. And
Yeah, he's like, "Who's that dude?"
Coach D was just standing on the sideline and like
Pushing him.
talking smack, like telling his players that were guarding him, like,
Make him
don't
go
let him
right.
do this. Don't let him do that. We watched the film, like, take away his first option, second option. So then J-Dub starts talking back. And then Coach D is talking back, and they have a full court dialogue going where they're talking shit at each other. And
And then Coach J-Dub's like, "Who was that guy?"
he
They're
thought
like,
for
"Oh,
sure
yeah,
he wasn't going to get picked. But here's the thing.
that's the Thunder coach."
And you know what the Thunder coach thought? That's a Thunder player.
That's what I want.
That's what I want.
That's what I want. And
That's
you
what
got
I
to
fucking want,
understand.
baby.
Okay, but then you look at Chet.
Look at Shea.
Chet was the same fucking way. And Shay's the same way. Shea is not okay. You watch, let me tell you this, guys. Go back and watch Shay's video that he does about who's better, Michael or Kobe. And tell me that he's not talking to a couple 14-year-old kids right there. But if he was talking to adults, dude, I swear to God, he would have boxing gloves on. That's how passionate he is about the game. And you can't fuck that shit up. You can't fake it up. And when you have a guy out there that's talking shit to Coach D with J-Dub, and it's like, fuck that. You say I can't go left, hard left, I'll show you hard left. Boom. Motherfucking facial. Who the fuck are you? You're a fucking nobody. That's what you want. I'm sorry. This is professional basketball.
You
This
don't back
isn't.
down from that.
Yeah, this is not like, let's not tag football, man. This is not two-hand touch. This is fucking professional. And if we have a guy that's out there, and J-Dub last night, man, when he was taking over, and he took over for 4 minutes, 5 minutes of the game, and it was astonishing. And he's talking shit, he's in people's faces. Like, come on. When he puts it together and learns how to do that for 30 minutes straight, there's no way that dude doesn't average 30 points a game, 27 points a game.
Who the
No
fuck's going
way.
to stop him?
Like, no one's going to be able to stop him.
21, 7,
When
and
Chet
5.
puts it together, what do you got? I'm serious when I say this, guys. We could have 3 players on this team that if a player gets injured, that could step up and average 30 players. If a player gets traded, that could step up and have 30 points a game. We could have 3 of those guys. Chet, J-Dub, and Shea. I mean, it's the future of the NBA, guys. You can say whatever you want about it, but these 3 guys in Oklahoma City Thunder jerseys are going to bring Oklahoma City Thunder to everybody's TV all around the world. And that's as simple as that. When everybody is said and done, it's not about this podcast. Fuck this podcast, bro.
Fuck this podcast.
It's about the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's their time, bro. Nobody can say it's not, because it's been designed properly. It's like a company, dude. It's ready for being thrown to the world. And what we just saw with Josh Giddey and how it's supposed to mess us up and fuck with us, we just made that shit our bitch.
Dude, there's a lot going on, and I think it's going to push the team to unite in a deeper way. And they go on the road, they're going to recognize that they are the only ones who have each other's backs. And it's going to create more of a brotherhood than we could ever have imagined before. So, we appreciate you guys
came together. We came together in the hardest of times, because it's not hard. It's not easy to stand together with somebody that's being accused of some fucked up shit. When I said we made that shit our bitch, we made that shit our bitch because we came together as a team.
Yeah, we
We
believed it.
we
The
came
truth.
above that,
The
and we
truth
show
is
what we can do.
important, and as the truth gets found out, like that'll we'll let that worry about itself, and that's what you see with these guys. They believe and they trust their brother, and we'll see how this goes. But
That's it.
we know that we'll be here for it no matter what. Because yeah, we look at it like we're just a barnacle on the side of the Thunder. We're hoping that we can just watch them be successful and watch it with you and
That's it.
be the biggest fans of what they're doing because this is special. We believe in it from the very, 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 very base of it, all the way up to the biggest vision of this, Dave. And I love doing it every day with you, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. Would have imagined that this would be any other amazing any other thing that we could have ever done as amazing as this, because the reality is that a passion that we had as children, we're able to put here into good use because, you know, we're fucking mad Oklahoma City Thunder fans, and we get to talk to hundreds of you every single day telling you guys about what we love.
We love you. Don't forget that.